Hey everyone, it's Jeannie, and today I am sharing a card that I have over on Instagram because I am part of the Ink on 3 Instagram hop in celebration of Ink on 3's mini ink release. So there have been 4 colors that are released in the mini size. They do come in full size. The first one that I'm using is Fadeout ink, which is a staple for Ink on 3. It is their no line coloring ink, and I am using it with the curl stencil to create a tone-on-tone ink blended background. So what I'm doing is I am kind of pouncing the fade out ink, and then I realized that I could have just ink blended it over the stencil. The stencil is super intricate, but it is not that delicate. So I ended up ink blending at the end and it worked really fine, but I did place a lot of this fade out ink on this background. I am doing ink blending on Canson XL watercolor paper because I had planned on doing blending. I find that this technique works the best with watercolor paper. I don't know why, but it's just more vibrant with the fade out ink and the tone on tone when I do that. That is what I'm doing. For the Atelier inks that have been released in the mini size, it is Sweet Petunia Pink, Marigold Orange, and Goddess Green. I'm using only pink and orange for the background because adding green would just create a brown color and that wouldn't be so pretty. This background is really subtle but busy but fun, and it creates that interest that I wanted in the background. As you can see, the fade out ink absorbs the color that you put on top of it. Eventually, once this dries, it will look like a pink and orange background that is perfect for my image. For my stamp image, I am using the image from the Fox and Bunny Hugs stamp set, which is a 3x4 mini stamp. I stamp it out with fade out ink because I want to do some no line coloring. If you guys aren't aware, no line coloring is a little bit harder than normal stamping. Usually you have a black outline to kind of map out where all your shadows should be, but I kind of look at no line coloring the same way that I would color a normal black outline image, where I put the shadow down first and then I'll blend out the rest with the lighter colors. For this particular image, I decided to go in with a Copic friendly black marker to mark off the eyes, the nose, and the arms because these body parts are super small, and it just makes it easier that way. I don't have to worry about messing up those small details, and I can worry about coloring up the larger areas. I will say that this image is perfect for no line coloring if you are a beginner because the image is so large. It has a lot of body and surface area to color and blend and practice the placement of shadows and blending all the colors out. I am putting down my shadow first, then blending out with 1 or 2 lighter colors, and it works really well. I have no line colored this image before in another video because I just really love it, and I thought this was perfect, especially because we are almost at fall. The fox just reminds me of fall, and I love fall. So you'll be seeing a lot more fall cards from me, and honestly, since I got back from my vacation, I have been in a creative tailspin. I have been making so many cards. I am so excited to share everything I've created. This is different for me, but I have even been making Halloween cards. I think that previously on my channel I've said that I just don't like making Halloween cards because who are you going to give them to? But there have been some companies that have been coming out with so many cool Halloween things that I am hopping on that bandwagon, and I'm kind of upset that I just don't have enough time to get in all the ideas that I have. If you want some ideas of some of my favorite Halloween releases right now, it has got to be the Trinity Stamps Halloween release. It's pretty cool, and it has a bunch of fall items too, so you should stop on by and check that out. With my refresh of my vacation and where I didn't do anything crafty for about 2 weeks, I've just come back and have been totally inspired to really up my game with my projects. And that also means that I have decided that I am stepping away from some design teams at the end of the year. I'm only doing that not because I don't love their items or I don't love the company itself, but I really just want to make time for myself to create with items that I purchase myself and have a purpose of. So for design teamwork, they usually send you products, and I pick teams that I really love their products and I would personally buy them myself if I weren't on the design team. But sometimes when you purchase things, you have an idea in mind for the use, like how you're going to use it, and you consciously make that decision because you are paying with your own money. For design teams, like they send you products and you are inspired by them and you create projects because you had made the agreement to do this and to create projects for them. Although I am very careful in my hand picking my design teams because I have learned over the past many years that if you don't love the products, even though you might be getting them for free, you won't be inspired by them and you'll hate it, which is why I've stepped away from a lot of design teams. I just wasn't inspired by the products. I'm very careful with what I choose to spend my time on, if that makes sense. So by stepping away from a few of my design teams, I'm going to be making more room for me to create for fun and create with my own ideas and what I had initially purchased something for. I'm really excited to do that. So I really want to build my channel a little bit more. My growth has been kind of slow this past year, which is really disappointing. I honestly haven't been putting too much into it, mainly because I think with the pandemic, staying inside, I just have been creating because I want to create and not because I'm looking at products and trying to see them in different ways and stretching my stamp sets and all of that. So I really want to focus on that. And also, Instagram is one of my favorite social media platforms, except they are changing. And I have really enjoyed creating reels. If you don't follow me, I create short videos that are called reels on Instagram. They are basically 15 to 30 seconds, sometimes they're longer, and you can see a process of one of my cards from start to finish within less than a minute, which is really, really awesome. But I know that people love watching YouTube to see the full talk through of a video, the full explanation, sometimes just listening to me ramble about nothing. I kind of want to do both. Like, I want to create those short videos and I want to create these long videos. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I will leave my Instagram below. I also have a TikTok, which I share the same videos, but TikTok is just like an easier platform to upload something that's really, really short. So I am going to be working more on my video content and just making it more fun. If you have any ideas or suggestions on the type of videos I should make, I am totally open for it. This time, I'm going to be making a list and trying to keep everything and really aiming at creating things that you guys want to see. I also have thought about going back to the basics and kind of going through card basics for people who might just be new to my channel and new to card making in general. So hopefully if you guys have suggestions, leave them down below and I'll make that list. For the card itself, I had created a ground for the fox and the bunny and I just swiped my ink pad across a piece of cardstock. You can see that the ink is super smooth and inky and juicy, so it worked really well. I have used that technique for other videos too because it just makes it really easy. Then I'm just putting it all together. For the sentiment, I heat embossed it on black cardstock using white embossing powder. And that piece of washi that I taped on my card base is from Doodlebug. It's called, I think, Tuxedo, which is just black and white. It's the perfect accent for a lot of my cards, which I use here and there. I thought it was perfect for this card because it tied in the sentiment on the card as well. And I am just going in with a Copic marker to add the shadows for the fox and bunny so they don't look like they're floating. But that is it for today's card, and make sure you stop by the Instagram hop for a chance to win a $25 gift card. And I can't wait to be back with another video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.